Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Desk-Cussion. My name is Cam Jack, and in this video, I had the privilege of having another phone call to Ireland where I spoke to a professional cricketer this time, whose name is Curtis Campher. Basically, we speak a little bit about his career, about how it was making his debut, and also we spoke about a few funny questions, which you guys will see later on in the video. Please, if you're liking my content, can you like and subscribe to this video? And also, if you're interested in making an interview with me, please can you pop me a message either on Instagram or leave a comment below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible and we can arrange a date. Obviously, I will only interview those who have information to share or run small businesses or who are professionals in their field. But I hope you guys enjoy this video, and thank you. So how's it, Curtis? How you doing?
I'm good, thanks to yourself, mate.
I'm very good, thank you. So please, if you could you just introduce yourself, your name, Instagram name, and what country you live in?
Okay, so I'm Curtis Campher. Instagram name, I think it's Kurt Campher 13. Could be wrong, but it sounds about right. And then I'm currently living in Dublin, Ireland. And yeah, that's me basically.
Okay, cool. So first question I've got for you is, how was it making your debut for Ireland? Like, obviously, heightened emotions. You must have been ecstatic to get the call up, but was it something that was planned? Did you know that you were getting the call up, or was it kind of a last minute sort of thing?
Yeah, so I'd have to take it back maybe a day or two. And before I made my debut, we're kind of training, and I was training nicely. And the night before the first ODI, it was about 9 o'clock, and a couple of the guys had got the nod and have been told and called by the chairman of selectors to be told that they're making their debut. So I got told I was in the match day 14. So I was quite chuffed with just being in that, because I wasn't really sure coming into the squad how I was going to fare and stuff like that. And then the night of the game at about 9 o'clock, the skipper knocked on my door, and I wasn't really sure if he was going to say I was in or I was out. So I was quite nervous. And I was sitting on my bed, and I remember my hands sweating absolute bullets. But yeah, so he came in and he just sat next to me and just said, "Listen, you're going to make your debut for Ireland tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, and you're going to make your debut with Harry." And I don't know, I'm not sure if you know, but Harry came over to Saints on exchange for with Cricket Leinster, and we started making a friendship. And then basically over the years kept in touch, and he's been the whole reason why kind of I moved to Ireland this year and kind of playing at the same club as him, and kind of like we've just been really getting on really well, and we've been like two peas in a pod basically. So it was quite a fairy tale to be told that I'm going to be making my debut with him. And then yeah, walking out to bat at 28 for 5 wasn't the best debut on a hat-trick ball, but I think I wasn't that nervous, to be honest. Kind of with there being no crowd and stuff like that, you kind of were able to calm down and kind of just focus on playing cricket, which is really good. And having Kev O'Brien, he's so amazing, to be honest. He just calmed me down and basically made it really easy for me to kind of play my natural game and kind of see off and build a little partnership with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially like you coming in against probably the best cricket team in the world at this moment in time. And they were playing a solid lineup. Like, looking at the players that were playing against you, I mean, you look at David Willey, and he's a great bowler. Especially you're walking out there, and it's pressure from the get-go. But obviously, I mean, you showed that you deserved your call-up, especially, and it's so awesome that you were able to make your debut with a friend of yours that you've not necessarily grown up with, but you've been friends with him for quite a while now, obviously. And that, I mean, that's such an amazing story, and it's such a fairy tale, as you said. So obviously he was one of the main factors on why you decided to play for Ireland. What else sort of like was appealing for you to move there?
Yeah, so basically, I've always had a passport. It's been in my family for a while, and come from my dad's grandmother. And basically, it wasn't really in the front of my mind in the beginning of my like upbringing and stuff like that. But when I got into high school and stuff like that, I trained with the national side when they came a couple of times, and I played against them. And I looked to go over to play a bit of club cricket. And then basically the opportunity arose towards the end of last year, where the head coach phoned me of the national side and said, "Listen, we're looking to give you an emerging contract to come over play for the Wolves, play club cricket. So the Wolves, in case you don't know, is just like the Irish A side, so the one below the international side. And I was just like, geez, for him to be putting himself on a limb and a ledge for me to get this opportunity, it's something I felt like I couldn't pass up. And the culture and the environment in the Irish head has been so good, and I've really thrived and enjoyed it so far. And I would have said that if I didn't even make my debut. I've just felt so at home here, and the guys have been so friendly, and just even in the club setup, really, the club I'm at's been so nice to me, and it's been building friendships and not kind of going over and being an outsider. It's kind of been going in there and meeting everyone and just being a part of like the journey of everyone's cricketing career.
Okay, I mean, that's such an amazing story that you got the phone call. It was, here's an outstanding opportunity for you, and you kind of just had to grab it with both hands. There was, I mean, I'm sure obviously it was a little bit tough for you to decide, okay, do I go, do I stay? But when something like that pops up, you can't not go. And I mean, especially now, as you said, you came out on a limb and you've just gone out, scored 59 in your debut for Ireland. Like, it's unreal.
Yeah, definitely. I think like I didn't really think about it like that much, and sitting here during isolation in the 14 days, I've kind of like just had to reflect on like the things we did in the last month. Like it's kind of like a pinch me moment. You're sitting lying in bed, and I'm like, we've just beaten the world champs in a game, and it's like the second time ever Ireland's ever done it, and to be a part of history, I think it's something I'll never forget. To make my debut against the world champs, something you dream of as a small boy, and for me to have done it is kind of pretty scary, but also really cool to be living the dream.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure like at first you kind of didn't realize, as you said, and then you sit back and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I've just done. Like, it's incredible. Okay, so enough of the serious questions. I'm going to move on to more of the joking questions now. So the first one I've got is, how do you get onto Wikipedia? And I've always wanted to know this. Like, so did you create your own Wikipedia page, or like, did your agent phone you up and he was like, you know, Wikipedia want to make a page on you? Like, can you provide information?
Actually, I did not make a Wikipedia page. Definitely not. So I think someone in Cricket Island must have done it. Either the analysis guy or the media guy must have done it, because it kind of came up after I made my debut for the Wolves side. One of the guys said to me, like, listen, I Googled you just because I was looking for stats on you, and like you did well and looking for scorecards. And he said, I saw you on Wikipedia. So I think that's where it came from. One of the Cricket Island guys must have sorted that out for me. Yeah, I didn't really know about it. So I think it came about then, basically. But yeah, it's pretty cool to have. But yeah, it is what it is, really. To be honest, you can't really think too much about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Wikipedia, although everyone's like, oh no, it's not a good source of information or whatever, it's still so cool to have a Wikipedia page about you, dedicated to you. Okay, so now that you've played against England, you performed against England, and you've been getting quite a lot of attention. You know, there's news articles about you. That's how I know my knowledge. Have you received any marriage proposals, or not yet?
Nah, not just yet. No, not at all. I think my girlfriend wouldn't be too chuffed if I was getting marriage proposals from other people. One of the things was really weird that someone brought to my attention. One of our family members is that someone, I'm not sure who, had made a cricket fan page for me without my knowledge on Instagram. So it was very weird to see like a fan page, and a lot of people have been getting in contact with me that just said that they love me and love cricket, basically, and like the way I play the game. So that was being really touching to get all the support. That wasn't really from friends; it was all from like complete strangers. So it was nice. One of the guys was just saying, he sent me a nice message just saying like, you're an inspiration and stuff like that. And that was like very touching to know that you've affected someone's cricketing career. I think that's the biggest thing as a professional sportsman now. You got to look at kind of providing a way and basically be a role model for guys growing up and try to inspire them. And I think, yeah, it's something that I'm trying to do. And I know I'm young and I'm going to make mistakes, but you know what I mean? If I can try and inspire one or two guys to get better and to play cricket and do it for the future, like, you know, I've kind of done something in my life.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you do have to be that inspiration to just tell people, like, hey, if I can do it, why can't you? And I mean, that's one of the best things. But that's so good that you're getting this positive feedback. And obviously, like, it's, especially now with social media, it's so hard because you'll get the guys that are being so nice and they're like, oh, it was so awesome, whatever happened, you did well. Like, you get all the credit, and then you get the haters, of course, and then you get the people who just like copy your social media accounts, which is basically what's happened to you now. Which I'm sure a lot of people go through, which is frustrating, but it's just one of those things that happen. Okay, cool. So obviously, looking at the stats and looking at the 3 games that you guys played against England, you got Tom Banton out twice. It seems like that's sort of your forte now, is getting him out. Would you say you've got him in your back pocket?
Nah, actually, funny enough, the media, I also got him out in the 19s game when SN19 played England. And in the third ODI, I was bowling to him, and we weren't allowed to really mix with the English guys because of COVID and stuff like that. They try to keep us distant, but he's always friendly and nice and very professional about his game and the way he's going and stuff like that. And we always greet and chat a little bit in between, like, breakfast meals and walking to the ground and stuff like that. And he basically looked at me and he just said to me, listen, if you get me out here, I'm going to absolutely be fuming. So I just turned around to him. It was a bit of a laugh, but I just turned around to him and I said, like, wouldn't it be funny? It'll just be funny. And I just said, kept going to him, wouldn't it be funny, Tom? Wouldn't it be funny? So it's nice for him to have the light-hearted side about it, and also for me, it's something I don't really take too seriously. To get anyone out, you got to, like, I feel like it's so hard for a bowler to get wickets. But yeah, to be able to contribute to the team and help the team do well, I'm always happy. And yeah, for him to have the light-hearted side of it, and me, we're not really taking a deep look in it. We're just kind of letting it be what it is.
Yeah, just more entertaining, just entertain the fun part of it rather than actually diving in and being like, hey, I got you in my back pocket, whatever the case is. You gotta keep it light-hearted. Okay, so final remarks. What is sort of a quote you live by, an advice that you would give to someone who's chasing a dream? So obviously you've now sort of got to a point where you're sort of achieving your dream of playing international cricket, and especially now you've played, as we said before, one of the best teams, well, probably the best team in world cricket at the moment.
Yeah, I haven't really had a quote really that I've lived by, to be honest, but I've always told myself just to be one of the hardest working and give yourself every opportunity to be selected. And I think that's one thing I can say to everyone else. There's a lot of things you can keep in your own control. I'd say batting and bowling, it's not really in your control, but the way you train, how hard you train, and the way your attitude is the biggest thing. I think a lot of people I heard Shane Warne, I was watching a test earlier, I know it's been raining, but Shane Warne had a lot to say about it's not about basically how hard you train, how well you bat and bowl and your stats. At the end of the day, when you retire, whether it be school cricket, club cricket, high school cricket, whatever it is, first class international cricket, they don't really say Shane Warne averaged 28 with the ball. They say Shane Warne, the best leg spinner, what a great bloke, or what a bad bloke. And I think that's the biggest thing. If you can be remembered as a guy that's always giving you 100% and always being a nice guy and always lending a hand, I think that's the biggest thing. It's not really about the cricket you play, it's about how you play it. And I think that's, for me, for the younger guys, it's not about what cricket you play, it's how you play it.
No, definitely. I mean, I think Shane Warne especially put it best. I mean, especially considering that he's recognized as like one of the bad boys of cricket, and but he definitely proves everyone wrong with the bat. I'm not too sure about his bowling, but no, I mean, that's definitely some very good words of advice to take. Thank you again so much for doing this interview. I really appreciate it, especially all the way from Ireland. So yeah, if you've got any final things to say, please feel free to say it now. If not, we can end it.
No worries. Just saying thanks so much for taking your time. And I hopefully wishing you all the success in your podcast and interviews in the near future, mate.
Cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.